Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
Did you know that we have a Patreon account?
Did you know that we have a Patreon account?
I did. We do have a Patreon account. I can tell you the password right now if you want.
I did. We do have a Patreon account. I can tell you the password right now if you want.
But you can. I'm not going to do that. You're going to go to you, the listener, if you want to support us. If you don't have to. But you can go to patreon.com/retroam and find out about what it's like to be a patron of this podcast. Do you know what it's like to be a patron of this podcast?
Yeah. No.
Well, you can get early access, bonus episodes, and special mini-series. Cirai. Now, would you like to hear some hot sounds that I've recorded?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast series about Xenogears. Tonight, we answer the age-old question, is Citan the asshole, or are we the asshole? We, the host of the podcast, or we, the Xenogears players? Are we the asshole? My name's Chris. Hey, Eric.
Hey, asshole.
Are we? Hey, are we? We're going to find out. We're going to just jump right in tonight, right?
A little bit. I do have one egregious and oversight and correction from our previous episode.
Yes.
So if you remember, our past egregious oversight and correction was a correction on Eliam's name as Elhaim.
Yeah.
I think that might also be wrong.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Elhaim.
Elhaim. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. We're trying really hard. I'm sorry. Let's just use all four of them for the rest of the duration of Retrograde Amnesia. Another
benefit of being a patron of this podcast is going into the comment sections and the threads of the episodes. And
yes, I've done that once.
All of the commenters there are smarter than us.
Oh,
so
of
they
course.
will mostly point out some of the things that we miss, and we appreciate that.
But they're all very nice about it. It's not like waving a finger at correction
it's
type
great.
thing.
It's like we discovered a part of the internet that's great.
Yeah.
The only part.
Congratulations, us. And commenters.
I guess them. They're the ones that are, well, anyway.
We discovered it, Chris.
Yeah, we discovered it. The secret of snot nose on the nose. Okay, so the last thing that happened was Citan adjusted his glasses and the whole domain turned dark.
Lights out, dog.
Lights out. Spotlight is off, and Faye is there in the dark by himself. Somehow, Citan and Elly have been spirited away.
Trapdoors. Like when Citan realized the shit was up, like he hit a button, he hit his life alert, and everybody disappeared into the ground.
His life alert. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Maybe I thought he had a button on his Fitbit or something, or he had some sort of RFID technology.
Oh, right. Of course. Yeah. Some Solarian special.
Yeah. It's weird that they have all this technology, but they have no cell phones.
Yeah.
Except in the Gears, I guess they have.
There's wireless communication, but like the apparatus has to be huge.
Yeah, that's true. Interesting. So Faye is all alone, and we have control of Faye briefly.
I think, Did you just go into the first hallway you found, and that was the room?
I tried
or
to
is
go,
it the only?
I got kind of confused about which way I was supposed to go. You can't go forward down the hall, but if you go backwards to the door that
the music door.
Well, no, you can't go back there. Just the door that Citan haphazardly knew the code to.
Yeah, he said fuck it and just opened the door.
Yeah. You can't go, if Faye's like, I can't go this way or something. And then you go into the correct room, and it is the Danger Room from X-Men.
That's right.
It looks quite like it.
There are no sentinels here.
No, not. They're not.
Hey,
there
Chris.
No sentinels. Hey.
Did you know I produced the entire next 5 minutes of this game with audio?
Yeah, I did know that, and I hope it sounds great. I haven't heard it yet, so.
Okay, let's go to it.
Yes.
What is this? Why are you showing me this? Who did this? Elly, Doc, where are you? Where?
You brought about this spectacle. That voice is the one that haunts you.
Cursed, untouchable one.
O God's beloved child, those who prevent our prayers.
Get destroyed.
Burn with God's fire.
What? Doc, these guys, what is this? Bart? Billy? Doc? What's going on? What are you all? Doc, answer me.
One of the Solarius guardian angels is here. Hugo.
This man is Cain, receiving the orders from the one known as Emperor. You've entered his realm, and have been under his continued supervision.
Solarius Guardian Angel. Monitoring me?
Oh yes.
We've guided Solaris and even selected the animus which have been drawn to you, and guided you here to Solaris.
The animus is needed for our resurrection. These are our bodies. This is what we possess.
Yes, this is the only reason we exist.
The bodies of Bart and the others belong to you? Is that true? Doc, what are they saying?
Why so apprehensive? Is it that you were sold out by the one you trusted?
I'm not talking to you guys. Doc, answer me.
3 years. For 3 years I have been by your side. I had to determine whether you were going to be our enemy or not.
Revenge?
Yes, the enemy. Your existence is a threat to us.
It was necessary to keep an eye on you.
The one who ordered you to be watched was Cain.
We were planning on the maturation of the animus and your termination. We also sent Hyuga to you.
However, every attempt to terminate you has failed. Because of that good-for-nothing trash.
Even so, we now possess animus. Hyuga has fulfilled his duties well.
Is that it? You were in with these guys? That's why you, everyone? Why? You've had your way all this time with us land dwellers. You already own the world. What more do you want?
You must know by now that we plan to resurrect God.
God will awaken from his long slumber after man has populated the land. Then, Mahanan, too, will awaken.
Aerial Paradise Mahanan? The place fell to earth?
Paradise. Ha ha ha. That may be a proper description. Our ark. In the center block Lord Mahanan is sealed in. That is the source of God's wisdom. A paradise of knowledge.
Using that knowledge, we will resurrect the awakened God and build our ark to take us both into the great universe.
The construction of our ark. To reign over God's forces in this great universe. The creation of the angel Malak. The M project was for that very purpose.
What do you mean?
We are orphans in this universe. We were thrown away onto this planet in solitude along with God.
We humans were not born on this planet. Long ago, we came here from another heavenly body. We are beings from an alien planet.
That's ridiculous.
This is true. You have seen the various regions of this world. Why do you think there are no records of humans before 10,000 years ago?
This is the will of God. The God's revival has been fated since before Genesis.
We will be one with God. Attaining a new animus, we will once again return to the starry skies.
That is the meaning of our existence.
That is our supreme objective.
So you're not planning on using Solaris' power to dominate the world?
Of course. What meaning is there in having control of a planet as insignificant as this? God has given us the right to rule over the universe.
Yes. Only, we who do not carry impure blood have the right to a pardon.
So, we will resurrect God.
It's been an eternity since our exile from paradise. If the time of God's revival does not come, we will have to follow that path to destruction, but...
Having obtained animus, our resurrection is near. Next is God's resurrection.
Krelian.
This one only waits for the awakening.
Elly. Okay, so what was that?
A lot to unpack. I think we're going to call that a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
Section.com.
So when we first see Faye,
he has a breakdown in a room surrounded by televisions. And then
he's restrained in a 4-point system and then shown flashing screens on all 4 sides of widescreen 16:9 televisions.
Yes, the lights come on. There's TVs flashing everywhere.
There's also TVs on the room everywhere with color code bars.
Yeah, it's weird. It's funny now because Faye has always been bound by the dark, cruel destiny of God, but now he is bound by machines that are disabling his nervous system, basically, is what we'll find out later about this.
God of the machine.
Sure, yeah. There's a, at the beginning of the sequence, there's a very harrowing sound.
Yeah.
It sounds like someone's banging on a tin.
It's like a ping, or like someone watched water drip and then did some mechanical effects on it and just blew out the sound.
Yeah, with like a tin can or something and a drumstick. It sounds terrible. And I think the first line that the ministry utters.
Well, hold on. When the ministers come on, it's all the dead color bar TVs, and then it changes to those guys' faces.
Yeah,
that's real cool.
Yeah, they come in. They come in hard. You could say
they come in hard. Definitely. They want this is like half of this is I think they're really impressed with themselves, and they want to make like a cool ass scene to just further humiliate Faye.
Yeah, if you think about it, they really haven't had an opportunity probably their entire existence, which is what 10,000 years or something. Probably they haven't had an opportunity in a very long time to make an entrance.
I mean, imagine if you ever got kidnapped and then like as you're coming to, you realize whoever's put you in the kill room has spent a lot of time on interior decorating.
Yeah,
like how impressed you would be. Like, oh wow, thank you, Michael. This looks great. Nice curtains.
So before that banging stops, they utter a line that sounds like a chant or an incantation or something. They say, "You brought about this spectacle. That voice is the one that haunts you. Cursed, untouchable one. O God's beloved child. Those who prevent our prayers. Get, destroy.
Dude, hell yeah.
Burn with God's fire."
Do you think they talk this way because they're from an olden time? Like, you know how Shakespearean English is fucking weird? Do you think they talk that way because they're from a time where the language stopped evolving? Or do you think they just have a flair for the dramatic?
I think a little bit of both. I mean, remember they are sort of just AIs.
Mm-hmm.
So you would assume they have some sort of machine learning in there. Like, do they have are all the records in the Sol 9000 and they have the ability to learn and evolve from that?
A neural net processor, a learning computer?
Yes.
The CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer.
They do. They have it. Then the banging stops, and then that's when the first time that we kind of already know that Citan has betrayed us, but...
Well, it's showing Faye, isn't it? It's flashing between Veltal and Id.
Yeah.
Or Id's gear.
Yeah. And then once the banging stops, they show Citan in the actual ministry room via that panel.
Yeah, he's in front of the Sol 9000.
And then Bart and Billy on operating tables, which doesn't look like a good thing that's going to happen to them soon.
Mm-mm. At some point after like the pulsing stops, Pray for the People's Joy starts playing.
Yeah, that's an odd choice there, don't you think?
Yeah, that's... The only tie back to that is, that's what plays in the Champs room, and that is what the Kaiser is playing as soon as the Nordschön chapter starts. Which, I mean, you could say anything in this game was ultimately under the Gazel or Kane's control at this point, right? Like, that's our main supposition, is these guys are pulling strings. So I don't know if this is a case of tying back to the last time Faye lost control, or if there's just short on music tracks.
So we hear a new term here. One of the Gazel Ministry says, one of the Solaris guardian angels is here. Hugo Rigdow. How do you say his name? Rigdow?
It's funny. I was editing our previous episode before I came over here, and I stopped right at the part before I made FakeNet say it, so we'll have FakeNet save our ass again.
Initializing FakeNet. Rigdow in English or Rigdow in French.
Thank you, FakeNet. We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
So this is the first time we've heard that term guardian angel, which I'm assuming that a guardian angel of Solaris is like a special CIA operative, or Tanya from Command & Conquer.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah?
You went to a Catholic school. Tell me as many guardian angels right now as you can remember. You can do this, man. On the spot. We didn't this isn't in the notes.
Michael?
Yup.
Gabriel?
Yup.
Alfonso?
Yes.
I just made that up.
So did I.
Initializing FakeNet. Eric probably meant archangels, but chapter 20 of the Book of Enoch mentions 7 holy angels who are considered the 7 archangels: Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, Uriel, Serachiel, Raguel, and Remiel.
The only ones I knew were Michael and Gabriel.
Oh, yeah, that's the ones I can think of. I was about to start saying Christopher, because that's my name, but I think that's a patron saint of something.
Follower of Christ?
Yes. Follower of Krelian?
Nice. Krelian Stuffer.
Yes, right. Sure. Why not? So, Citan, it belongs to this guardian angel group. He is not an element. He is not somebody who has decided to migrate to Land Village. He's a guardian angel. They have got, the Gazel specifically have got some shit to say, and their key point here is that they have selected the animus, which are drawn to Faye. The bodies of those people are going to be their bodies now, according to them. Those people being Bart, Billy, etc.
Right, and do you think they mean they're going to, like, let's say the one with the blue face looks like Anakin Skywalker. Will he be operating in Bart's body as the AI, or are they just going to consume their genetic material to form, like, Emeralda bodies?
Well, since they are, like, AIs that are implanted into the Sol 9000, don't you think they would just transfer that into Bart's brain somehow? Because he's
some body
animus?
snatcher stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Like, just insert the flash drive into Bart's brain and then become Bart, but they keep his voice.
Rewrite Bart immediately.
Can you imagine them saying all that stuff that they say, but with Bart's Malibu accent?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You're like the one who's going to be our enemy. So yeah, they're basically doing Get Out, but minus the racial connotations.
Yeah,
and
basically.
Yeah.
So one of the lines they said was, "Why so apprehensive?
Why so serious?"
Yeah, why so serious? Is it that you were sold out by the one that you trusted?" And then finally,
They said sold out. That's such a good term.
Yeah, it is. Citan finally appears and explains what we kind of already knew, you and I, the gamers. We already knew this. We already knew that he's been watching us probably for the 3 years of Faye's existence in Lahan Village.
Doesn't Citan just say it as like part of the job or something?
Yeah, later on he talks a little bit more about how he simply observes, I think is the line he uses later.
Yeah.
But not at this point, I don't think.
Anyone who's up to nefarious deeds is like, no, I just observed the Jews getting gassed.
Yeah.
I didn't, it wasn't my idea.
Shit. This was at the order of Cain. But the next couple of lines, the Gazel Ministry also kind of take credit for sending him there. They say, we were planning on the maturation of the animus and your termination. We also sent Hugo to you. So they wanted to mature the animus, which I guess that means they wanted to draw Bart and friends towards Faye and then kill Faye.
Or like get them all either in one place for convenience or in the proper state of their brain where they're primed and ready for that stuff.
Yeah.
Which seems like a weird thing to orchestrate, but hey, that's why we've got something.
Hey, they're good. They're good. They also mentioned that they were unable to destroy Faye because of that good-for-nothing trash, which, who do you think the good-for-nothing trash is they're referring to here?
Ramsus. Yeah, they hate him so much. I think they hate him more than Faye.
I think they hate him more than we do, too. I'm starting to feel sorry for Ramsus, actually.
Yeah, he's bound by the dark, cruel destiny of Technosphere.
Yeah, and his own
shit. His own genetic material.
Nope.
His own hubris.
Mm-mm.
His own poor fighting skills, overconfidence, gray hair.
No.
Soft spot for the proletariat.
I lost it.
Points done.
Yeah, I lost it. Yeah, I think you made my point better than I could. Thank you. So when Faye begins to express a little bit of anger at them, like, how can you guys do this, you guys? They try to punk him a little bit, and they say, you must know by now that we plan to resurrect God. Then they go on to say that Mahanan will to awaken. And Faye seems to know about Mahanan and calls it the aerial paradise Mahanan.
Yeah.
Do you know how, I get confused by this because, like, how does he know this? He knows nothing. But then I look back into the script to see that the first time Mahanan was referenced was during Emperor Cain's speech. So it might just be a little bit of a weird localization. They added some additional context on top of that to call it the aerial paradise Mahanan.
Like, imagine you go see like a public figure speak who you respect greatly. Mm-hmm. Just pick out, for example, let's say Chris really likes Crocodile Dundee. He's a big Paul Hogan fan.
Sure.
And he sees Paul Hogan say something that, like, it's a big, long speech, but you pick out, he says, like, banana split, real weird. Like a different turn. Chris is he's at home and he's like, oh, fuck, the banana split. But, like, Chris says banana, like, slop instead.
Banana Sunday?
Yeah, banana Sunday. So he plays telephone with the information.
Yeah.
And it comes out weird.
Okay, thank you for explaining that.
My idea of aerial paradise is when rich people fly, they get to go to that captain's club at the airport where you get to sit in a nice chair and have like liquor and stuff.
Yeah. It's funny because they always have the windows not tinted, but they're kind of glazed a little bit, but you can kind of see the upper portion and the lower portion so that you can know that you're poor. And you can't get in there.
Definitely. It's like the curtain went from first class.
Yeah. It's not great. They call the aerial paradise Mahanan their ark, which is a very biblical reference, I guess, probably.
I've seen that kill Nazis.
Sure. I don't know if they mean like the Ark of the Covenant or like Noah's Ark, because
those are different arcs.
We're getting into some spaceships shit here in a little bit. So and they basically transition into saying, we are not just here to resurrect God because we want to. We're going to space.
Yeah.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
There are other races to conquer. We don't care about you lambs.
It's like, you don't get it. This planet is fucked up.
Yeah.
We need this thing. This is a time bomb. We got to get this thing out of here and just, for some reason they are compelled to inflict the dark, cruel destiny on others as well.
Yes.
So it's, Citan says it took him 3 years to determine if Faye was going to be their enemy or not. And Faye in the game replies with revenge, ? But according to the study guide, his original line was enemy ? And normally that word in Japanese reads as kataki, but is sometimes used interchangeably with tekai, and it implies that Faye has a reason to avenge himself on Solaris and its leadership.
The ministry also talks about the creation of the angel Malik.
Yes.
Which I think this is not the first time we've heard this word. I think we heard it as reference to the M project. That's what the M stands for in that project. Malik in Hebrew and Arabic just translates like angel or messenger.
Cool.
We don't really know do we know what the angel is? We don't know anything about angels yet, do we?
Not directly.
No, not at all. I'm sure it has something to do with...
Rather than Citan's reference about being a guardian angel.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit different than that, I think. It sounds like they're trying to create some sort of being.
There were 2 angels, masculine and feminine, in embrace in that Nissan Cathedral, right?
Yeah, but when these guys talk about it, when I close my eyes and I think about angel, I think about the Evangelion angel, or as like some sort of catalyst for their plan in order to revive God. Like, do they have to revive a bunch of angels in order to revive God somewhere along the way? Is it the production of parts for God, or is it his army or whatever? Who knows?
They seem to want to revive God, and when they say that, they show their hand with their complete disregard for the humanity of this planet. Like, all they want to do is revive God and leave this planet. They have a singular focus.
Yeah, we are getting out of here, and that sort of explains why they did not care about completely nuking Kislev during that night purge sequence.
Fuck it.
Because we were sort of confused about, like, economy something, people? No, they don't care.
Well, you said they're getting out of here, but what if they're getting out of sphere?
Yo!
You want to quit the podcast now?
Yeah, no, still having a good time. Something else that's super weird. The elders tell Faye that humans are not from this planet. And Faye says that's ridiculous.
Obviously, Faye hasn't heard of that theory where, like, an asteroid impacted Mars and fired bacteria off onto that and hit Earth, and that's where we came from.
Yeah. They say, this is true. You have seen the various regions of this world. Why do you think there are no records of humans before 10,000 years ago?
Read a book, Faye.
Yeah, or go to a man's fossil collection in a cave and learn this, Faye.
Yeah,
Come
definitely.
on now.
He's seen skulls.
Yeah. At least he tries to press them a little bit on this and wonders if their goal is not only to dominate the surface. Then, of course, they go on and have some additional chatter about reviving God and setting up the space. These guys really think they're chosen ones.
Yeah, and they're definitely Bond villaining by telling him all of their evil plans at the moment because they're so confident in their victory.
Yeah, absolutely. This last section, I have a couple of fun quotes that they utter. One of them being, of course, what meaning is there in having control of a planet as insignificant as this?
Damn.
God has given us right to rule over the universe. Yes, only we do not carry impure blood, have the right to a pardon, which is a weird thing.
Well, when you talk about the purity of blood, you start to get more into the fascist stuff.
Yeah,
too.
definitely. So, it has been an eternity since our exile from paradise. It is the time of God's revival. Does not come. We will have to follow the path of destruction. But having obtained animus, our resurrection is near. Next is God's resurrection. So,
dude, these lightweights, eternity, the maximum amount of time they're doing that's 10,000 years. Come on, son.
I know. Come on, man. Then a friend appears.
Yeah, we get from the rafters, Krelian drops in. Baseball bat and a cape.
He says, this one only waits for the awakening.
The study guide has that line as, we only wait for this one's awakening.
And then the screen flashes to Elly, so we're talking about Elly at that point, right?
Yes.
And this is the whole thing about we're going to hear a little bit about it more later, but this is the whole thing about the antitype, right?
Yeah.
Like, Krelian only seems to care about Elly's purpose in the scenario.
Yeah, her abilities.
I don't think Krelian's trying to go to space. Like, he's not aligned with the Gazel Ministry.
I mean, to them he is, but I'm sure, depending on how far their surveillance network goes, I don't know if they know what he's doing at all times.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, then we go to Krelian's arts and crafts room.
Yeah, indeed. He lowers on like a circle elevator and he goes to Elly on an operating table and presses some buttons and sends her into an MRI machine.
Yeah. She goes into the MRI machine. I have Black Moon Forest playing, but it could be Jaws of Ice. Who can say?
I have Black Moon Forest playing as well.
Hell yeah, dude. We're doing Black Moon this time.
High five across the room.
Yep. So then Krelian references the incident at Jugend, case 102, 1 year ago.
Yeah, this was the release of her latent powers from, quote, that systematic administration of mental enhancement drugs. In that instant, your ether value had increased beyond 400, which is a Dragon Ball Z thing, I guess.
Yeah, the power level, right? But then he kind of contradicts himself and says the incident wasn't drug-related, but caused by the awakening of her other self.
I think it sounds like he's almost reading from a report.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the report says it was because of an overdose of the drugs, but he knows the real reason now, apparently.
Yeah.
Because of his MRI results.
Elly got an MRI and it showed some cartilage weakening in her knee.
He explains this was not caused by the overdose, and it was awakening of, quote, your other inner self. And this is what we saw in the anime flashbacks a couple of times, the bloody hallway.
I think it's interesting. I think it can be safe to say that there's been multiple iterations of Faye at this point.
Yeah.
But I think what kind of jams a wrench into that plan is Krelian was back around then too. Is he subject to that same logic? Is Elly? Like, is there a Citan walking around back then that we don't know about? If it's your first time playing this game, you don't know how far this stuff goes. Like, if everyone's been conspiring to do this stuff.
I think we do know for a fact now that Krelian is not a a specific reincarnation because of the nanotechnology.
I know, but he had blue hair, right? Like, it could be, he's the only one who got a change of clothes.
That's true. Bastard. He tells us that, he tells Elly that everyone is going to be used to revive the Gazel Ministry, which we already know, and he is
He says fed to the Gazel Ministry.
Oh,
They're
really?
going to eat them, yeah.
Oh, wow. Maybe they're going to eat him. I mean, we're already been doing a lot of people eating up to this point, haven't we?
Yeah, but he needs his, quote, final factor.
Yes.
Chris, what's your final factor?
My final factor? Oh, in my life?
Yeah.
My final factor is probably...
what do you need the most that is unattainable?
The Xenogears remake.
Okay, great. Yeah, no, that's also my final factor.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Drakengard 4.
He's well into the fourth stage of his plan, so we've discussed the final factor, but what are his first three factors, Eric? What's your thoughts here?
Should I have evidence for this, or do you need me to improv this right now?
Improv, definitely.
Okay, his first factor was locating the Fae of this current time.
Okay.
His second factor was trying to maintain ghost control of Citan.
Okay.
Through Cain, trying to manipulate Cain to manipulate Citan. His third factor was he spent, let's say, a good 150 years ignoring all this stuff and making Reaper jerky in his labs.
Okay.
And he's been sustaining himself on that. And then he got back to the fourth factor, which is what he's in now.
Okay. I don't have that. I have nanotech, and nanotech.
Oh,
because
shit.
that's all he cares about.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
And it culminated at Emeralda. So, seriously, Emeralda is probably one of those, probably stage 3, because that was the thing that we saw him
but she's used up now.
Yeah,
he doesn't need her
true.
anymore.
He's got that information. Alternatively, I also have another hypothesis about his three factors. The 3 books that he read every day.
Yeah.
He was reading the same 3 books every day.
Yeah, it made it easier to read.
Yeah.
So for me, with him using Emeralda, it's like this vanilla porter beer I'm having. When I finish drinking it, I no longer need the bottle and it can fuck off. I've got what I need inside of me.
Yes. Nice analogy there, Eric.
Thank you.
Congrats. He's basically telling Elly at this point that everybody is worthless to him at this point except for her.
Yeah,
which,
complete psychopath.
Yes.
That's called an obsession, right?
Yeah.
You're the only one who means anything to me, Elly.
Also, it legitimately gives us the an explanation for why he released Emeralda, because, as we know, he has what he needs.
With all the Freudian stuff in here, is this like a sex thing?
With Elly?
Yeah, like, do you think somewhere in there there's that, or do you think he's a man who's 500 years old and no longer motivated by the earthly pleasures of flesh?
I think at this point in time, I'm thinking no, but later in the conversation, I may change to yes.
He kind of okay, yeah. So let's get there.
He doesn't really. He also really mentions that he doesn't really give a shit about the slaughter of humans.
Yeah,
because I was like, I'm into nanotech. I don't care about that stuff. And he's basically like, it's like being into Apple products and not really minding all the human slaughter that goes along with Apple products.
Right, and the suicide and Foxconn laboratories, all that stuff.
Yeah, except for his Apple products are nanotech.
Of course.
He then pulls up a PowerPoint presentation and explains via this PowerPoint presentation that because they found Emeralda, he was able to perfect the nanomachine stuff that he does, the program, whatever his thing is. Pretty much before Emeralda, they were able to use this technology to heal people, heal wounds, regenerate limbs, stuff like that, install limiters in people. But now he's got it to its next level.
Yeah, he says he's only into molecular engineering, and he's very obsessed with this. Like, I think, doesn't he go on for a while about stuff that Elly couldn't possibly care about as he tries to maybe impress her?
Yeah. He goes deep.
I've got, Mr. DNA, I actually animated that.
Even me, who I'm like writing down like all these quotes, even me, I'm like, I'm just going to write down, he's talking about DNA a lot. So then he says a lot more about DNA, and then he gets amped up. He gets super amped up when he discovers the urobolus ring.
Hell yeah, dude.
Which seems to be something that he discovered in Elly's DNA structure when he put her in the machine.
Mm-hmm.
Urobolus.
Hey, girl, I got you a urobolus ring.
Yeah, I guess. Urobolus is a misspelling of Ouroboros or Ouroboros.
Ouroboros.
Or Ouroboros.
Uroboros. Ouroboros. Uroboros.
A Greek word.
Okay, shit, here it is in Greek. Ouroboros.
A Greek word meaning snake eating its own tail. Eric, always pay attention to serpent symbolism in video games, always.
Because they're snakes.
Because there's a serpent in the creation story.
Yeah,
and
I know.
It's always easy to reference the creation story. And we know this game's already done that. So.
Best serpent in a video game, go.
Best serpent in a video game?
Yeah.
Shit, I'm not good on the spot.
All right, I am. Number 1, reptile.
Reptile.
Number 2, that big thing in God of War.
Yeah.
Number 3, Sir Hiss from the Robin Hood furry cartoon.
Fuck. Okay. Yeah.
What?
I'm picturing a Snake Man, but I just don't know what game he's from. So, Snake Man.
Snake Man. You mean Lizard Man from Soul Calibur?
No, Snake Man from Mega Man.
Oh, Snake Man. Good pull. Excellent. Yeah, great level.
Yeah. All right. Great. Glad we got to talk about Mega Man. Shout out to Mega Man.
Shout out to Mega Man. So at some point, Krelian says, Miang and Lacan's actions.
Yes.
This explains everything.
Yeah.
Can you imagine referencing people from 500 years ago out loud next to your captive brain patient?
There's this line gives us a lot of new information. Even though it's only a few words, it tells us that Miang and Lacan both have had some sort of action together.
Yeah.
Because whatever this is explains that. This is the first time we've heard of Miang and Lacan having some sort of interaction, period.
Mm-hmm.
This means that either Miang was around when Lacan was around 500 years ago, or Lacan is still around, or both.
Yeah.
I think it's probably safe to say at this point that Miang has been around for a while because she seems to have her hands in everything at this point.
Purple hair.
God tier string puller. Krelian has some more things.
Yep, he says some more stuff.
Do you want to say it? I don't know how to say her name. I forgot.
Krelian says that Elohim and Lacan haven't changed since then, and even considers his machine unworthy of Elly.
Weird.
Yeah. It's like you ever give a girl a ride in your car, or a guy, whatever you're into, and then be like, you're not even worthy of my 2001 Civic.
Yeah, he's got a little bit more to say about the DNA stuff. He says, this is what your genetic exon looked like before replacement. This is the conceptualized form of the intron, which carries information that isn't supposed to exist. Observe, this is the urobolus ring, which contains intron information which only exists in certain people.
Dude, this is like pickup artist shit. It's like, you've probably never even seen, so this isn't supposed to exist. I don't know if you've seen this before, but I have a full printout. You want to see a DNA structure?
Yeah, it is kind of, you're right on point, because then he slowly transitions into like creepy shit.
Yeah.
And then he's
we're not doing creepy shit yet. We still got even creepier shit coming up.
Yeah, that's when he transitions from like, I'm so smart and I have all this information about you.
Look at my cool hair,
you are hot and perfect and beautiful. And he talks about her reminding him of someone, which is what you say when you're creeped to women on the street.
Yeah. Especially when you just kidnapped.
Yes, Eliam, you are beautiful. When I look at you, I appreciate the artistic aspect of the human form.
Dude.
Its elaborateness.
I should have put that in my wedding vow.
I can't help but...
She would have left me right there. I'm sorry.
Oh, shit. I had a Metal Gear Solid 3 line in my wedding vows.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
It was something about referencing the joy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was undetectable.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'll... Bonus content one day. I'll have to go back and watch the video because I don't remember how I phrased it. So... yeah, he says, I can't help but feel the importance of that. As if my molecular machine is unworthy of you. You haven't changed since then, just like the other one, Lacan.
Molecular Machines is my ska band.
Yes. Krelian knew about Lacan and Sophia.
Yeah, we've seen him talk to Lacan.
He knew them both, yes. It's important to note that now because we know that Sophia looks like Elly.
Right.
So now we are able to put ourselves on the path of treating Krelian like an incel.
Able.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because this is the moment...
It's a collection of incels on the opposite side, all of our antagonists.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. And this is the moment when Krelian... I mean, Krelian is obviously a very well-developed character.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on with Krelian. But I would really hate to see him be reduced to executing his master plan because of a girl.
Yeah.
Not that
Well, it would be because of himself that he blames on a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Gotta go see about a girl.
Yeah.
But not in that way. But maybe. Then it fades to black.
Yeah, we go back to Phase Cell.
Yeah, we're here.
Phase Cell, in cell.
Well, I mean, okay. Citan comes into Phase prison and asks if he is conscious.
Yeah.
He is, actually, so we can have a conversation here.
He's up. He tells us this is where we learn it's impossible to move in this suspended machine, and then that it has cut out his nerve signals.
Yeah.
Or disabled, I guess is a better way to say that. It didn't snap his nerves.
I guess. Citan tells Faye not to worry because he and Bart and everybody, we all have our roles.
We all have our roles.
Citan simply investigates.
This is some gaslighting shit. It's like, oh, no, this was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You have your role. Bart has his role. I have my role. We're just doing our jobs.
Yeah.
We're just doing our jobs. If you want to kidnap somebody, these are perfect lines to feed them.
Exactly.
So, yeah, when he says that, to me, that also reads as he's incapable of accepting criticism. And he said, no, I'm doing my job. He just repeats it over to himself, like nods his head until he believes his own lie.
This makes Faye very angry.
We get so frustrated. He says, damn it, a whole lot.
He says, God damn it. I wrote down God damn it in my notes, and I was like, surely Faye didn't say God damn it. So I went back and checked, and guess what?
Yeah.
Faye said God damn it.
Does Xenogears do damn it, D-A-M-M-I-T or D-A-M-N-I-T?
Actually, for goddammit, they have Godamnit, which is really weird.
Yeah.
It's a really weird way of doing that. He says, God damn it, we weren't born to be used by them. Then Faye goes on to talk about how they were fighting for a place that they could belong to.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we ever really discussed why we were fighting, to be honest.
We're all homeless now.
But a really, yeah, I mean, that is
Except
true.
for Bart.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, he has a shit. He lives in his car.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's a Winnebago, like a traveling van.
But this actually highlights a really great thing about this game, that we are, the entire plot is being carried by both the circumstance and the character motivations versus we're not just chasing a bad guy around the world or doing quest for a pope or something.
Yeah,
you know, like
a roving band of misfits.
Yeah.
We're fighting for ourselves.
Yes, this is like the plot is structured in a very systemic way where things make sense in terms of how characters react to circumstances, and those circumstances drive the plot versus, you know, Kuja running to a different town drives the plot, which is...
Kuja, good pull.
Yeah, thank you. I always felt like Final Fantasy IX was mostly just chasing Kuja around the world.
Yeah, they felt like pieces on a board game.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Good game, but I mean...
Great thong on Kuja.
Yeah, thank you. So Citan says something cool and sinister and dark. He says, it is much easier to be given a place to belong than to make one yourself.
Childish ideas pale before reality.
Yeah, that's dark. Then he says, do you know why people cannot exist alone, but only under some bigger concept, such as group or country? People need a place to be themselves. The more stable it is, the more effective it is. The ministry gives them such a place. Under total surveillance, there is no need to bear the risk of maintaining one's own individuality.
Yeah, they live in the delusion of being individual. What could be easier?
Yeah.
Is he saying here that people have given up their individual freedoms in addition for a quiet and comfortable life, and they're happy with that? Even though they run the risk of being genocided by a collection of AIs?
Yeah, I mean, Citan loves the police state, basically.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He's putting that idea front and center.
Of course there's security cameras everywhere. Just don't break any laws. You wouldn't break any laws, would you?
We need it to stop the terrorists.
The NSA needs to see what you're doing on your computer at all times. They're just collecting the data. They're not looking at it.
Edward Snowden tried to warn us. Rand Paul tried to save us, but unfortunately he's fucking Rand Paul.
Yeah. So he then says resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile.
Thank you, data. And it only makes things painful.
Yeah. He also has a dick line here where he says...
Dick line?
A dick line, yeah.
Okay, where are you going with this one, buddy?
It's a word I just made up.
Okay.
Take it in whatever direction you want, but the direction I'm taking is he tells Faye that he couldn't even protect his friends, purposely making him mad because there's a large bang sound.
Yeah, he's killing Faye's brain on purpose.
Yes. And then the thing turns black. The whole room turns black, and then we get a line from Citan that says, now we may take our time and talk. Id.
You ever hanging out with somebody at work, like in like a tense situation or in a friendship situation, like in a board game where you can't talk?
Yeah.
And you kind of reach a boiling point where you see someone failing over and over, and you know if you just say one thing, they're going to slam the N64 controller down and leave.
Yeah.
That's what Citan's doing to Faye.
Punch the arcade machine and walk out of the mall.
Yeah. Same person.
Yeah. So, yeah, great. I mean, I think that... Well, let's talk about this for a second. Is this the moment when you were a teenager? Is this the first moment you're like, oh.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
Even at the beginning when they were doing Veltal's gear and id flashing before, I was like, yeah, those are two gears. Both really cool.
Oh.
Even though it's pretty... Oh, wait, what? No, that happens in the future. Never mind.
They're the same person.
Yeah.
Id and Faye are the same person. Now, I guess probably when I was a kid, I thought maybe that Faye and Id were like two opposing, like a yin and yang force.
There's a lot going on here. Like they've been suggesting Faye is more than one people because of Lacan, because of whatever the hell Emeralda's saying, Faye is Kim.
Yeah.
So to like postulate that Faye is a different that looks like, it looks completely different.
Yeah.
So it's not like he just gets a blowout. Like he looks different skin tone, different skin color, different hair.
He's got his combos
gear.
though.
He has his sick combos.
Yeah.
So there's some genetic material shared there, but you know, all the other iterations of Faye, lab coat Faye, flashback Faye, that all looks like Faye.
I think the most poignant reference between Faye and Id was when Ramsus was seeing
the Demon of Elru.
The Demon of Elru, but even during the battle, like before Faye beat Ramsus's ass at the end of the match, like when it had broke to a cutscene.
Yeah.
Then he saw the Id flash on there because he knew the moves. But that was so early in the game.
The sick combos. Yeah.
It was so early in the game that you weren't like at that point in time, you didn't know that Xenogears was Xenogears.
Yeah, like
in your first playthrough.
That was Xenogears is my fourth or third RPG. Like the whole protagonist is multiple characters thing hadn't really occurred to me before, even though I just played Final Fantasy VII when the protagonist wasn't who he said he was.
Yeah. Well,
but
it's true. I mean, I had played more RPGs, but most RPGs had a more basic structure, or at least more of a hero's journey type structure, or a Star Wars type structure like Final Fantasy VI did, which was probably the one I had played the most at this point in time. So I can see how you could miss that, but when you're combing through the game like we are now, there's a lot of moments in which you can figure that out.
You can.
So now we're on back to Krelian working in his lab. Elly is laying there on the table, and there's some music playing.
Yes, Chris. Tears of the Stars, Hearts of the People plays, and Krelian decides to leave.
He does.
Why would anyone decide to leave? Is Elly chained up, or is she just sitting there? I know later on she's like sitting on the side of it, but I guess she's still restrained at this point. Yeah, she has to be because of what like Krelian just like, okay, I'm leaving.
He left the door unlocked.
Yeah, and then like it's almost like a cartoon thing where like it's like secretly a revolving door where he exits one side and then who shows up on the other side.
It's Ramsus, and he comes in and he uses or at least the game uses its chuckle animations a lot here for Ramsus. Like we've seen chuckle animations here and there throughout this game, but he does it 3 or 4 times. He has no actual laugh. Like, there's no sound, but he's obviously like maniacally laughing here.
Yeah, like I didn't put this together until now, but he's acting like someone on like a creep in a bar on TV when they're drunk.
Oh fuck!
Like he is like kind of wobbly, like laughing maniacally at this girl who's just been traumatized by somebody else.
I'm pretty sure he grabs her by the throat.
Yeah, that's what I assume.
Yeah, and says, "Where is he?" And at that point, I'm like, "Oh, he's totally fucking broken now."
Yeah,
like he's totally off his rocker. He is now just he's the least complex antagonist now.
Yeah, he's obsessed and wired, and all of his dialogue is sentence fragments.
Yeah, Faye this, Faye that. Ramsus has become Jan Brady.
Oh boy,
he's very jealous of his big sister Marsha. Faye,
it's a Brady Bunch reference.
Yes, thank you to our. If any of our listeners under the age of 20 or younger get that reference, shout out to you. I mean, I know we have younger listeners, and we have people that listen to this podcast that are younger than Xenogears, and that actually warms my heart because
the youth are right.
We were unable to have the experience of like going back and playing old games unless it was like Atari.
Yeah, the same time period. I think Atari games are mostly unplayable.
Yeah, they were unplayable because Nintendo games, NES games, were basically just like, oh, these are just better versions of those games. There's nothing unique about them. So it warms my heart to know that people will go back and play games that inspire the games they love. So shout out to you guys. So yeah, Faye. Ramsus says, Faye, in what way is he more superior than I? And I will say, Ramsus, Faye is superior than you because he has sicker combos and a better gear.
Have you ever? You and someone you know competed for the attention of the same lady, and then you failed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever like call her up when you should have stopped talking to her at this point, and then say, in what way is he more superior than I? I haven't done that, but maybe I've said a version of that.
I usually just go into the covers and have a panic attack.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just you're looking for a reason why, and there really is no reason why.
Unfortunately, I'm not like Ramsus, and I not have any mental stabilizers to shoot up here.
Yeah,
because that's what he does.
And Chris hasn't spent time in jail, as far as I know, so
no,
he reacted appropriately.
Yeah, Ramsus continues to maniacally laugh, and
he chomps down drugs.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna do some drugs, and I'm gonna beat up Faye. Which
Elly IDs the drugs as mental stabilizers, not him. So he could be chomping any kind of pills, which he's clearly already been chomping.
It's probably just drive.
Yeah, it doesn't drive like increase your aggression, or is it like an emotional heightener? Is it like the reverse of Prozac, where it just
combat
floors?
Drug? So it's probably like a, an Adderall times 6 kind of thing, where it increases your focus and your ability to perform tasks.
There's a song on the Max Payne 3 soundtrack called "Combat Drugs."
Oh, cool! Never played a Max Payne game before.
3 is okay, great soundtrack. So, I gotta say, whenever I feel that I've lost the chance at a woman, I always routinely interrogate them with crazy paranoid theories, then laugh to myself and ramble incoherent nonsense, then do drugs and leave.
Shit.
It's a way to show them that you're a model of stability and they should have picked you instead.
Have you ever known somebody from Eastern Kentucky that's trying to get out of Eastern Kentucky, and then their past shows up?
Yeah, I play Kentucky Route Zero. Absolutely.
Well, what you just described is what I witnessed that happen once. Gonna stop the story there.
Yeah.
Fade to black.
So Krelian did all this to fuck with Ramsus, right? Like Krelian led Ramsus in that lab to further deteriorate his mind and shoot him up with drugs.
That's interesting because later on he needs to use Ramsus for a thing. Yeah. So maybe not.
I mean, because why else would you like Elly to me is the most important person in the world to Krelian. And to let someone as unstable as Ramsus in there, that had to be forecasted.
That's true. Is Ramsus a wrench right now in the scenarios, or is Krelian playing him?
I think Ramsus is the biggest tool in this game, so I think he's always being used.
Well done. Okay. Scene fades to black, and we are hearing the wonderful tune Invasion.
Yes, but it's benefited with handcuff unlocking noises.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Some twisty noises. And then we get someone says, "Faye, hang in there."
Yes, and when Faye comes to, it is Bart and Billy, and it's like, hey, Bart and Billy are not. What's the alternate route here, where like Faye wakes up and Bart and Billy are there, but it's really just the ministry guys in their bodies.
Yeah, right. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, that would have been
a transfer has taken place.
They may have needed 3 discs to unravel that.
In the Xenogears remake, that will never happen when Hammer or Maria will actually be on our team. Probably Hammer. That they will have already, like, one of them will have actually taken over his body and like be a secret double agent.
That'd be cool. So yeah, they wake up and then Citan's there too. And
yeah,
Faye's
Citan is also there.
I need to. Faye really needs to kill Citan now.
He puts hands on Citan.
Yeah.
He calls him a traitor, and then Billy and Bart pull him off.
Yeah,
again, like a bar fight.
I say to Faye, welcome to the Citan hating club. Unfortunately, you're too late because Citan is about to explain everything.
Yeah. Bart says that Citan misled everyone intentionally, but only so he can remove our limiters in this facility, the only place where this limiter removal can be done.
I love this exchange because Faye won't listen to Bart.
He doesn't believe it.
He still wants to fight, but when Billy explains it...
Billy says almost the exact same thing.
Yeah, and then Bart gets upset about that, which is a great little touch.
Yeah, that is an excellent Bart character moment right there.
What was your reaction to Bart saying that our limiters had been removed? Was it the same as me where I was like, hey, I thought we already had that done, like shortly before Choo Choo's got all the sex going on.
It's
we got that going on.
We're just gonna get all of our limiters.
Oh, are we gonna get an 8th action point now? I don't know.
But like, I felt Faye's betrayal of Citan because when the first time I played this game, we didn't talk about it much earlier, but when Citan was in the captive room with the TVs, that's burned in my brain of Citan being there, being like, oh yeah, hey, what's up?
Hey.
Like that sense of betrayal right there, that's when I figured out that Citan was playing me the entire time. So I felt Faye's rage here. Like thinking that Citan's here with Bart and Billy and he's deceiving them as well.
Yeah, it is upsetting. Are there any other good, off the top of your head, are there any other really good betrayals in RPGs or video games, period, that you can think of besides this one? I mean, I know that Citan's is like a double betrayal or a reversed betrayal, but okay, well, we'll move on.
I'm gonna need like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do top 10 betrayals.
Yeah, one of these days. I can't think of any either.
Or I'll think of it like randomly in the middle of the sentence later.
I thought that you were better than me and you could do this.
I am.
I can think of one.
Yeah?
Spoilers for Lunar Silver Star Story.
Oh, yeah.
Not Galleon, dear Quark. Magic Emperor Galleon. The only reason I knew this
great voice acting.
I looked over there. I looked over there and I saw the box. So.
Chris has a secret visual aid right now.
Yes, thank you. So, Citan then explains that he has received a covert order from the Emperor to contact the body wanted by the Ministry and send the data, and if possible, bring the body back.
If possible.
The body...
Yeah.
Being Faye, I guess, right?
Yeah.
He had no choice but to deceive us and be a dick to us this whole time. Citan then explains that he himself has a matter to be verified in this facility, which I don't know what that is, but what is it? Do you know? Because he doesn't go with.
Good betrayal, Persona 5.
Oh, yeah, great.
Yep. Okay,
yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you. Citan explains that he's got this, he says, a matter to be verified in this facility, and that doesn't make any sense, but now I just realized what it is. It's the 4th gate he goes to in a minute.
Yes.
So,
the 4th magical gate.
Citan then explains that he had a chance to look at Elly's cellular information, and no, he is not hacking her cell phone and checking on her text.
Right.
But I think he means her cells.
Yeah.
Or her biological cells.
Her DNA.
And he found that there are no limiters in Elly.
Yeah, she didn't have one implanted.
Begs the question of how come I couldn't get all of Elly's sick combos earlier in the game.
Yeah. Did we emphasize that Citan had to trick the Ministry in order to trick us?
Yes, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, Bart asks Citan if he removed phase limiter as well, and Citan seems taken aback by the question and says, "Oh, ... yes, ... of course," which to me reads as shifty.
Yeah, he does get a little shifty. He also doesn't know why Krelian is interested in Elly, but it appears that...
he said Krelian took Elly and there was no stopping it.
Yeah, basically. We, the gamers... you and I, Eric, we know why Krelian is interested in Elly. That's because he looks like Sophia, and we are assuming Sophia was some sort of friend or love interest from that time 500 years ago.
Yeah, perhaps there was some kind of argument.
Yes, perhaps. Billy says something about some guys, quote, some guys being sent to help Elly's parents, which I guess he sent Hammer to rescue Elly's mom or something.
Top men.
Sure. Must be the rest of those people. And then Citan blings his sword.
Yeah, as he goes to destroy the last gate, Light pings Citan's sword, and Faye asks him about his sword.
He has vowed not to use this sword for killing, and he says the coolest line in the game thus far, at least from him. He says, "But now is not the time to contemplate morals. It is not fair for me to be the only innocent one." Yeah.
The dude thought of himself as innocent up until now. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah, good point. Maybe it's not as cool as I thought.
How many Gonzaleses are under your reign of terror?
Yeah, that's true. Faye calls Citan mischievous, and then Citan one-ups himself by having another cool line by saying, "It is in my nature. I am sorry. Forgive me." And Citan tries to have a cool exit animation, walk away scene, but Bart...
Yeah, this is good. This is excellent.
Bart's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go kick some ass now. I don't have a limiter. I'm gonna get more AP. I'm gonna got more combos.
Because our limiters are being removed.
Wild Smile version 2.0, baby.
Solaris won't stand a chance.
Yeah, but before his exit, Citan explains that the physical limiter has already been removed. That's what happened in Shavat.
Yeah.
The psychological limiter, Bart, that's what creates the subconscious fear and veneration for the Ministry and the Emperor. That's gone.
Yeah.
You're not afraid of the Emperor anymore, Bart. You didn't know you were afraid of the Emperor 5 minutes ago, but guess what?
Bart asks if he's serious, and he's crushed when he is.
Yeah.
So to us, this reads like they had limiter stuff planned for mechanics in this game, but then like as stuff kind of started going haywire, they probably took those mechanics out and then wrote, but still had this plot point they needed to have. So they wrote this line about psychological fear.
Yeah.
Or it was always supposed to be that way. Who knows?
So then we drop down and rescue Elly. Real quick, quick.
Like we drop in there, like don't they go through some kind of like weird underground like wire hallway?
Yeah, there's nothing going on really there. I didn't get any encounters there, and I didn't stop to see if there were any, but yeah, we drop down. Faye's of concern, and Bart's like, "Dude, we don't have time for your heartfelt reunion shit. Let's go."
Yeah, don't ask what machine she's in. Let's get her out of here, buddy.
Somehow everybody knew that there was a secret door underneath of Krelian's circle computer lab thing, and they all dropped down there.
And then we're out of Krelian's lab.
We are out of Krelian's lab, and that is, I mean, there's not a save point yet, but that's where we're going to cut it here. And before we move on to the next chapter, which is, I believe, called Tears for Fares.
That's right. That's how it's pronounced.
Yes, Tears for Fares will be the next episode of Retrograde Amnesia.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
I hope that you enjoyed this one, and you enjoy the next one. So thanks, listeners, patrons, everybody for listening, and you, Eric, too, for driving over here and coming to the basement.
Hey, Chris, you want to know a secret?
Yeah.
This is the second time we've recorded this episode.
Yeah. Did we do a good job, you guys, you listeners? Did you guys know this is the second time we recorded this podcast because we had an audio glitch issue?
I think we did a better job.
Actually, yeah, I think it's better. It's more succinct, and it went a little longer, but it's still...
So let's do every episode twice. We have time for that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, here's a quick sample
once we reach $500 on our Patreon, we'll do every episode
Do
twice.
a practice episode?
Yes.
And then...
No, we're not doing that.
Here's a quick sample of what the original audio sounded like.
His heart's in the right place, obviously, but Faye is an adult.
Yes.
And he's not been able to pick up on these cues for a long time. And his best friend, Bart, is also an adult.
And you didn't want to listen to that, did you? So we recorded a new one.
Yeah, stay tuned for the outtakes. And also, you can follow us on social media. We are on one social media platform. It is called twitter.com @RetroAmnesiaPod. Email us things and stuff, retrogradeamnesiapodcast@gmail.com. Thank you, Mark
Shepard,
for the intro track. It sounds really good. Don't forget that you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/retroam. We would appreciate it if you would do so. If you can't, you know what? You're still cool. Listen to us every week. Tell your friends. That's good. And that's the end of this podcast. Until next time.
Yes, we will kill Mark Shepard. Yes, we will kill God.
And now you may go back to sleep. Okay, yeah, see, there's no buzzing right now. Let's see if there's buzzing when I play it back. Eric, say something.
Buzz your girlfriend, Wolf.
Hey, Eric. Hey, Eric. Did you bring an air horn or something?
I was gonna say Citan's line, thanks for like whatever, think about, but I forgot what it was. I was gonna challenge you with that line and fuck you up, but I forgot what it was.
It was, well, I guess we're gonna get there tonight, right?
No.
Thanks for everything.
I just edited it. It was what he said, after he made Faye look at the shit that he was eating. He's like, think about what you've done.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah,
start over again.
I thought you were talking about I thought they were talking about the post sword line. Okay, got it.
Yes, Tears of the Stars, Hearts of the People plays. Krelian does like a head-bobbing laugh. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Tears of the Stars, Hearts of the People plays. And then Krelian... Yes, Chris, Tears of the Stars, Hearts of the People plays, and Krelian decides to leave. Caused by the awakening of her other self. And then he says, quote, I'm already... Oh, never mind. So that's for later.
And now the Retrograde Amnesia Theater presents 54 seconds of that messed up audio from the episode we scrapped.
His heart's in the right place, obviously, but Faye is adult.
Yes.
And he's not been able to pick up on these cues for a long time. And his best friend, Bart, is also adult.
Yeah. And
also, his other best friend, Rico. Hold on a minute.
Boy. Yeah.
This
Faye only attracts some, is this like a...
Billy's not adult, but
Billy suffered abuse and trauma.
That's true, and also he was sort of led astray. Like he was part of a criminal conspiracy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, wasn't even aware of it.
Yeah, he wasn't even aware of that. So let's just say that Faye has not attracted the best supporting cast of males. Like most of the women in his life are okay.
Maria's fine.
Maria's good, but she's only 13. She's young.
Yeah, kind of spacey.
And I mean, he just met Emeralda, and she's basically a child.
She's just been muttering gibberish about it,
Margie,
Well, you can be your own betrayal if you choose to let Magus live, you fuck.